From Beanie Babies to Game Boy to Tamagotchi, here are 10 awesome toys you totally forgot about. Number 10. Koosh Ball. Do you remember the Koosh Ball? It was a ball that was different from all the other balls. It was covered in tiny rubber strings that felt like nothing else you've ever touched before. It was almost like playing with a fluffy cloud. But the coolness of the Koosh Ball didn't stop there. You could play all sorts of games with it. I used to love grabbing the strings and spinning it. The possibilities were endless. And remember the Koosh Ball challenges? You and your friends would try to see how many times you could hit the ball back and forth. It was so much fun. But a word of warning, don't put this near your hair. It gets tangled so fast that you might end up with a haircut you didn't want. Number 9. Gag Bucket. Are you ready for a blast from the past? A toy that'll fart endlessly? The Gag Bucket. Kids love fart noises. It's funny but kind of satisfying. Gag Bucket was so popular it sold out. This colorful goo. It was so simple, but the fart noises somehow never got boring. Sneaking up behind your friends and letting it rip, it was super funny. They drove parents a little crazy. The slime stained everything and got stuck in carpets. And it smelled pretty bad, but hey, not like a fart. Farts are just funny. All kids love farts. So many toys are made around them. Hey, remember the whoopee cushion? Who doesn't love toilet humor? Every time you pushed the slime down, it would let out the best fart, and no two farts are the same. And this kept kids entertained for hours. But it's literally the most simple design. It wasn't expensive, and every kid wanted one. Number 8. Sea Monkeys. Let me introduce you to the one and only sea monkeys. These tiny aquatic creatures were all the rage back in the day, and for good reason. They were the ultimate cool toy that everyone wanted to get their hands on. Sea monkeys were small, live aquatic creatures that you could order and keep in a tank as pets. They were easy to take care of and came with a special food and growth formula that you could add to the water. And the best part, they would hatch right before your eyes. It was like magic. Once they hatched, you would have your very own sea monkey colony that you could watch grow and swim around. You could even give them names and create little homes for them out of pebbles or shells. It was like having your very own little underwater world. But sea monkeys weren't just a toy. They were also a science lesson. And they were not actually monkeys, they were shrimps. Maybe sea shrimps didn't sound as exciting. Okay, anyway, it was a great way to teach kids about having a pet and taking care of living things. If you think these were cool, things are about to get cooler. Keep watching to see what's next. Number 7. Silly Putty. Buckle up because we're about to talk about one of the most awesome and entertaining toys that you totally forgot about. Silly Putty. Silly Putty was the ultimate toy for kids who loved to play with something squishy, stretchy, and just plain fun. It was like a ball of rubber that you could mold into different shapes, stretch it as far as it could go, and even bounce it like a ball. It was a toy that never got boring, and you could always come up with new ways to play with it. Everyone wanted this toy. I don't remember a friend that didn't have some Silly Putty. But the coolness of Silly Putty never faded. It also came in different colors like pink, blue, and green, and Little Egg. An all-time fave, Silly Putty rocked. Number 6. Light Bright. Well, get ready for one of the coolest toys you probably forgot about, Light Bright. It was a toy that allowed you to create designs using small colored pegs that lit up. You could make anything you could imagine, from simple shapes to intricate patterns. And the best part, you could display your creations on the wall or even make a nightlight out of it. But what made Light Bright so cool? Well, you could spend hours creating and experimenting with different designs, and every time you turned it on, it would be like a new surprise. It was on the top of every kid's list. Everybody wanted one. It was a very simple design, but wow, was it popular. Another thing that made Light Bright so cool was its versatility. You could make anything you wanted. From a simple flower to a picture of your favorite cartoon character. It was like having an endless box of crayons, but with light. Number 5. Pogs. Pogs, for those of you who don't remember, were small round discs that you would stack up and then knock over with a heavier disc called a slammer. It was a game that was all the rage, and for good reason. It was so cool. First off, Pogs were collectible. Each one had a different design on it, from cartoon characters to sports teams to bands, so you could spend hours collecting them, swapping with friends, or trying to complete your set. Secondly, Pogs were versatile. You could play with them in different ways, from the classic knockout game to Popper, where you'd try to flip the Pogs into a cup. There were endless possibilities for fun. But the coolest thing about Pogs was the slammer. The slammer was the key to the game, and it was a heavy disc that you would use to knock over the Pogs. It was so satisfying to slam it down and watch all the Pogs fly everywhere. Number 4, slap bracelets. Slap bracelets were so popular in the 90s and early 2000s. They were thin metal bracelets that would snap around your wrist when you slapped them on. They were so cool that everyone had to have one, and if you didn't, you were out of the loop. But why were they so cool? Well, for starters, they were a fashion statement. You could get them in all different colors and designs and put them on in one snap. Plus, they made a cool snapping sound when you put them on, which was always fun to show off to your friends, but apparently kinda dangerous. Yeah, a few kids got hurt, and that was that. Shame. Starting now, things get even cooler. Keep watching until the end. Number 3, Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies were the ultimate craze. These tiny stuffed animals were bean-filled and came in a variety of cute designs and names. Everyone wanted to have the rarest and most unique Beanie Baby, and it was a frenzy. But what made Beanie Babies so cool? For starters, they were small and cute. You could take them with you wherever you went and show them off to your friends. But Beanie Babies weren't just for collecting. They also made great companions. You could cuddle with them, play with them, and even give them to your friends as gifts. They were the ultimate toy for kids and adults alike. But let's not forget about the Beanie Baby trend. People were buying and selling them for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It was madness. They took the world by storm. Many people started to realize that these bean-filled toys are worth the prices they were paying for them. Someone once joked, Beanie Babies were like the stock market of the 90s. Everyone was buying, but no one knew the real value. Number 2, Game Boy. Oh man, do you remember these? Back in the day when the only way to play video games on the go was the Game Boy. That's right, I'm talking about the OG portable gaming device. Everyone wanted one of these bad boys. Well, I mean, the Game Boy was one of the first portable gaming devices, meaning you could take it with you wherever you went. Imagine being able to play Mario and Zelda on a road trip or at a friend's house. It was like having your own personal arcade in your pocket. Another reason why the Game Boy was so cool is because of its iconic design. The gray-green color, the chunky buttons, and the small screen made it all stand out. But the weird thing about it, it was not as advanced as now. The screen was not color and the games were not 3D. So next time you're missing it, why not dust off your old Game Boy and relive the glory days of portable gaming? Number 1, Tamagotchi. Okay, so the coolest you probably forgot about. Hello, the Tamagotchi. It was a small egg-shaped device that you had to take care of like a real pet. You had to feed it, clean it, and play with it. If you didn't take care of it properly, it would get sick and eventually die. It was like having a real pet, but with the added convenience of being able to take it with you wherever you went, except to school. They got banned. The coolness of the Tamagotchi was that it was one of the first virtual pets ever created, and it was a huge sensation among kids and teens. It was a new and unique concept that no one had ever seen before. Tamagotchi was also a fun way to play with friends and family, as you could compare your Tamagotchi's progress and compete to see who would take care of their Tamagotchi the best. Overall, the Tamagotchi was a cool toy that allowed us to experience the joys of having a pet without the responsibility, and was a great way to have fun. And it's a toy that'll always hold a special place in our hearts. Enjoyed the video? Now watch this one.